Hey everyone, it's Dennis. New video today. We're going to be talking about Google Ads and managing a lot of volume in terms of different accounts while replicating your decision making and expending less of your own effort. Okay, let's jump right into it. So a few applications here. You could use this to level up a newer media buyer or a virtual assistant and convert that virtual assistant into a media buyer and increase their early phase labor efficiency. You can use it to do a batch analysis of different tasks related to Google Ads and also reduce your own decision fatigue as you run into managing volume. This specific process involves a bit of scripting and the R programming language, but I say trust in the script. You can make it work faster than Microsoft Excel, and you can add more advanced custom logic later on to tailor it more specifically to what you'd like to do. So the first step here, Google Data Studio. You can set up a Google Data Studio dashboard, and I've set up an example here with Google Ads sample data that you can use, and this will just help you get the views that you want more quickly. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at it. So pretty standard stuff here. Date filter, some other filters if you'd like to see them here, but campaign, ad group, search keyword, search term, match type, and then some important values for this view. So cost, impressions, clicks, average CPC conversions, and cost per conversion. So from here, you can download this data by clicking on those three dots, heading over to export and exporting out a CSV. You can name it whatever you like here, or keep the default name, rename it after you download. All right. So after we grab that and we download the pre-formatted table from Google Data Studio, we can feed it into the R script. And a little bit more about what the R script is doing here. So we're using it to predefine what we want to know about this data. And we'll have R cut it up into logical views that filter to the specific things that we like to know, so that we can send out this information later on for it to be executed upon. Okay, so there's three here. I think of these as like some of the three basic things that we'll be interested in, and there's corresponding functions in the code which will yield different CSV outputs. So number one, get search term opportunities. So we want to know what's getting the most conversions. What's been successful so far? It's very important that your conversions are set up correctly, but assuming they are, you can take a look here and figure out what new search term opportunities are. Let me go ahead and we'll come back to that later. The second one is getting what's spending but has no conversion. So it's answering what's not working yet. We say yet because you'll have to consider your own unique cost per conversion goals or cost per acquisition goals when you're taking a look at this. And you need to make sure that you've spent enough to make a decision. If it hasn't spent enough, you'd probably want to let it go a little bit longer. But again, this is personalized to your own specific goals and the account that you're focusing on here. The third one is getting the best keywords. So what's converting and what has the best cost per conversion. So very similar to the search term opportunities, but this is a smaller subset because we can kind of think of these as like the more solid, proven keywords and keyword opportunities. Once we jump into the code and actually run it to get these different outputs, you'll want to use this here in the terminal. R script, well, look at that. R script gads underscore ops.r, that's the name of the of the R file itself, and then the either the path or the file itself for the CSV of the export that we grabbed earlier from Google Data Studio. And this is made possible by command args to run it from the terminal, which is really neat. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. So we've opened R here, and you can also see kind of set up a folder where this is the file we grabbed from Google Data Studio. I copied it and renamed it to this, makes it a little bit cleaner for presentation purposes. Okay, so we're in here. Let's go ahead and run this code. So R script gads ops.r gads data studio in.csv. Okay. I will say, in order for this to work, you will need to have the Rio and dplyr packages installed in your setup if you're going to use R for this. Some other things here: specified a working directory. This will probably be different for you. And also if you wanted to run this to test for yourself, you could use a CSV input that you type in here, but we can change it dynamically with the name when we actually run it in the terminal. So we'll go ahead and run this. Cool. You'll see that it's run. You'll see we have a new folder here. It's listed out by the date. You can also change this name too. Feel free to edit this code, make it do exactly what you'd like to your specifications, but to keep it kind of easy here, in this example, the date. That's a new folder that was created. We'll go in there and we'll see those 3 CSV files. Again, just quickly going into their best keywords, you'll kind of see a subset of what's working in terms of search keywords, search terms, what has conversions, and you can take a look at the cost per conversion too. Take a look at search term opportunities. You can kind of think of this as a broader set of opportunities. Of course, there's conversion data that we can use, very similar to the other one, but there's some information on clicks and impressions too that can start to make sense here for expanding a campaign. So you find the ones you like in here, the search keywords and search terms, and then you can kind of pipe these into the a SEM tool of your choice to get additional suggestions of what may work. All right, and let's take a look at spend no conversion. So again, just to reiterate, what's not getting any conversions, but what's spending. You'll see that cost is sorted descending here. It'll depend on the account and whatever you're advertising, but if there's enough data in terms of costs, then you can start to make some decisions around when to pause certain keywords, when to remove certain keywords from a campaign. But make sure that they get enough spend here. This will show everything that is spent but has no conversions. Something interesting here too, looks like we're also picking up what hasn't spent anything. And we could probably change this in the code if we wanted to. Let's take a look. Let's have some fun. Okay. Get spent, no conversions. Max conversions equals 0. Cost column. Okay, get conversions. All right, filter less than max conversions, and we arrange there. So we could pipe in another step here. Might cut this out until we get a result of the video isn't too long, but let's take a look. Get conversion call. All right, so added in a new line here, and if everything has worked correctly, we should not see those keywords that spent nothing. Let's go ahead and save and try it again. Like these keywords here, you'll see the spend is 0, and we don't want those appearing quite yet. Okay, so let's close this out. And let's run it again. Make sure it's saved. Okay, so since we're running it again, the folder already exists. That's okay. Let's take a look here. Let's open it up. Spend no conversions. Let's see. All right, let's take a look at the cost column. This is the cost column here. Things are looking good so far. Yep, so we've got the fix in place there. So cost is greater than 0. So this cleans up that view for us. And we have what we like here. So things that have spent, but have got no conversions. And then again, something really important to think about here is your cost per conversion or your CPA. Amazing. And this is kind of set up as a framework too. So if you want to add additional logic to include, cost per conversion filtering, it can be done and it can be added, it can be improved. So you'll have your 3 files here, and you can send these out to your team. Your 3 CSV files. And they make these views easier to understand. There's less risk of manipulation error if this was done in Excel. And these views are kind of cut into the logic that you like. And you can run through the logic as you do train up your team, train up the people you're working with. So they start gaining that intuition too. But this will kind of speed up that process of being able to start executing on changes within an account and within multiple accounts. So you'll get these, put together your instructions if there's any additional ones, and then you pass it on to your team. And this should help if you're managing many accounts and you're bringing on greener buyers or working with VAs that you're working to teach the trade, to help you manage multiple accounts. So I'll say there's potential to make another video in this series about faster execution. If you're interested and if you've made it this far, drop a W in the comments. Wherever this goes, it might go a few different places, but drop a W in the comments if you would like to see that next part and if you found this helpful. All right, thanks.